Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
There is a children's song that everyone knows in Israel. It's called A Closed Kindergarten. It tells a story about a child who goes with his mother to the supermarket in the evening, and then they walk by his kindergarten, and for the first time the kid sees that it's closed. So he's telling the story how sad it is to look at the closed school, how lonely the toys must be. Last time I've been to the sanctuary of Temple Bassam was February 28th. And now I'm here, and it's really unpleasant to see a closed synagogue. It's not the same to look at empty pews imagining to see the faces of my friends. But we are celebrate Shabbat together, virtually or not. We are together. We are celebrating with each other. We welcome Shabbat. So let's begin by singing Hine Matov Humanayim. How wonderful it is. Even though we're not in the same room, we can still be together, celebrate together.
Hine Matov Humanayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. 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 How good it is, how sweet it is, to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is, to be together on this day. Hine Matov Humanayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Humanayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. How good it is, how sweet it is, to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is, to be together on this day. Hine Matov Humanayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Humanayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad.
So in the past 2 weeks, like many of you, I watched the service on my laptop. I sat next to Gali, the kids came in and out, and we actually sang with Rabbi Brett and Marcy. I don't know if that's what you're doing, but if not, give it a chance. You may feel funny for a few seconds, but then it feels quite natural. Romemu is a good way to do it. There is a lot of back and forth.
Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki sing to you. Be gracious to the ones I love, and bless them with goodness and mercy and peace. Oh, hear my prayer to you. Let us light these lights and see the way to you, and let us say Amen. Let us light these lights and see the way to you, and let us say Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
And we continue with Lechadudim.
Lechadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat lekabela. Lechadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat lekabela. Sha'amor ve'zachor ve'dibor echad, Yishmi'anu el hamiuchad. Adonai echad u'shemo echad, v'shemo tiferet be'libila. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nechad, ki mekor habracha, nerosh mikedem nesucha, sof ma'aseh b'machshava tefila. He
as we face the entrance.
בואי ושלום הטבע גם בשמחה ובצרה תוכן בוני עם סגולה בואי חלה בואי חלה
And we're going to continue with the prayer of Tov lehodot la'Adonai. It is good to say thank you, God. And what I found out is that in times like that, it's much easier to be grateful. You know, so many things I normally take for granted, like being in the same room with Marcy, but this is the first time in really, really long time we do separate for at least 10 feet. Alfredo has this stick that measures 10 feet. We used it, we are safe, but I never thought about it. I went to Publix and I saw that except of toilet paper and some other items, it was quite packed and quite full, and I was able to get everything that I needed. I really noticed many more wonderful things that I have during these trying times. So if you would like to mention anything good that happened to you, something that you want to share, so please type it in the chat box and share it with all of us.
שיר ליום השבת טוב להודות לאדוני טוב להודות לאדוני לזמר לשמך עליון ולזמר לשמך עליון מזמור שיר Shir continue with the Chatzi Kaddish. Yikadal ve'yikadash shemei Rabba ve'almad yivrach yirutei ve'amlich malchutei b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei dachol beit Yisrael bagala u'v'zman kariv Veimeru, Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba Mevorach, Le'alam U'Lalmei Almaya, Yitbarach. Yitbarach ve'yishtabach, ve'yitpa'ar v'yitromam ve'yinaseh, ve'yithadar, ve'yitale, ve'yithalal, Shemei Dekudsha, Le'eda min kol berchata v'shirata, Tushbechata v'nechemata, Damiran ve'alma, ve'imeru, Amen.
And now traditionally we rise for the call to worship for Barchum. If you actually stood for this prayer, it's time to be seated as we read the evening prayer together.
Holy is twilight, the realm of in-between. And so our sages taught, pray in the moments when light and darkness touch. We are all twilight people, beyond categories and labels. May the sacred in-between of this evening suspend our certainties, soften our judgments, and widen our vision. Let it illumine our way to the God who transcends all boundaries and definitions. Blessed are you, God of all, who brings on the twilight. Umavir yom umevi laila, umavdil ben yom uvein laila, Adonai tzvaot shemo, El chai v'kayam, tamidim lo chaleinu leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, hamari v'aravim.
Amen.
Open up our eyes, teach us how to live, fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. Gather us in peace as you lead us to your name, and we will know that you are one. Open up our eyes, teach us how to live, fill our hearts with joy and all
Two of the things that help me personally during these times are prayers and meditation. Try to do it every single day. And now we have an opportunity to combine meditation with our most important prayer, Shema Israel. This is going to be a very short meditation. Normally we need a little bit more time for that. But I think that for Shabbat it's appropriate. So I invite you, even in your home, just to close your eyes and take a deep breath in and breathe out. Breathe in again and slowly breathe out. There's something very calming, very relaxing about breathing. And as you continue to breathe in and out, I invite you to take this moment, as Shabbat is about to begin, to have a conversation with God. We can talk to God whenever we want, and perhaps many of us talk to God lately more than we normally do. But just on Shabbat, it's a special kind of a conversation. You can tell God about the fears, about things that make you worry, anxious during these times. You can tell God about different things that you discovered about yourself, about people around you. You can ask God to help you. You can even ask God, why is it happening to us? What is the lesson in all of that? And you definitely want to pause and to listen. One thing is that now we have much more time to listen. Let's take another deep breath in. And let's breathe out, or at least try to breathe out our pain, our worries, our fears, at least for the duration of the 25 hours of Shabbat. And together, still with our eyes closed, let's say the words of Shema Israel.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed.
And if you've not done it, we slowly open our eyes.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך. ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך. וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
You shall love Adonai your God
with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Take to heart these instructions with which I charge you this day. Impress them upon your children. Recite them when you stay at home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you get up. Bind them as a sign on your hand, and let them serve as a symbol on your forehead. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Thus you shall remember to observe all my commandments and to be holy to your God. I am Adonai your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai your God.
So what a bunch of students from University of Texas in Austin have in common with a community of ultra-Orthodox Jews from Bnei Brak in Israel. Well, both groups shamelessly violate the rules of social distancing and the prohibition of gatherings. Of course, they're not the only groups, but this week I read articles about both. So 2 weeks ago, a group of students, 70 students from the university in Texas, chartered an airplane to take them to Mexico in order to fulfill the religious obligation of properly party during spring break. 70 of them went, and now 44 of them have the coronavirus. To make things worse, some of them flew back to the United States on a regular airplane, not the charter. And just think about all the people that were infected by them at the airport, on the airplane, etc. Just try to think if it were the other way around, that a group from a different country would come to one of the cities here in the US, perhaps even to our town in Jupiter, and make us all sick because they had to party. The group of ultra-Orthodox in Bnei Brak last week participated, for example, in a funeral of one of the rabbis there who died 400 of them attended the funeral. Now, if you think that the rules here in the US are strict now during the time of the coronavirus, in Israel the rules are much, much stricter. You're not allowed to do that. It's against the law. You get fines. You can even spend up to 6 months in jail. Nevertheless, 400 of them attended that funeral. Many of them, despite the prohibition, still go to synagogues and pray in large groups. There was a big wedding that they celebrated. Why? Why would people do such a thing? And of course, it's not only them. You know, I read about at least 2 ministers in our countries who got arrested. One of them is in Tampa. The other one in Louisiana, who was boasting that last week he had over 1,000 people attending his church. Why would people do that? What kind of people would do such a thing? So let me start with a more positive explanation. Not because I feel so positive now, but you know, it's Shabbat, it's almost Passover. So the reason that people violate these rules is because it's really hard, even unnatural for us as human beings, not to be together with others. Scholars showed us time and again that we feel better being in a large group, again, unless we have a fear of crowds, but most of us don't have it. There are some good chemicals that being released by the brain, by the body, that makes us happy, makes us even feel love when we are with other people. You know, you go to see Bruce Springsteen in a concert. You pay this exuberant amount of money. You try to find parking spot. You know, you can listen to Bruce Springsteen on your stereo. You can watch him on a TV, but you feel much better. You get this kick of being part of a large group. That's why people go to ball games. We love being together. You know, since the Stone Age, our species, human beings, realized that they do much better together. When they were gatherer hunters, they figured out that doing it together is a much more efficient way to collect food. Together, they can hunt large animals. They can protect themselves against animals, against other tribes. And since then, we live in tribes, we live in groups. It makes us happier, it makes us feel better. And the more modern and advanced we are, the more dependent we are on others. You know, if in the past, a family could have taken care of all its needs, they could gather some food together, cook the food, make some clothes, make a house. Now, we really need other people to survive. Each one of us, no matter how smart we are, possess only a tiny sliver of knowledge of how to make things that we use on a regular basis. We need other people, only that other people now make us sick, even kill us. More than that, human beings need to touch each other. Don't laugh, just think about it. When we meet, we normally shake hands, we give a hug, even a kiss. This touching releases the same good chemicals that make us happy and make us feel love. You see, when a baby is born, their vision is not good for a while. Their hearing is murky, but they can feel, they sense. Normally, they put the baby on his mother's, so when the skin of the baby touches the skin of the mother, the baby learns how to regulate his or her breathing, regular digestive system. They feel protected. So what's true for babies, it's true for adults as well. Lately, there is a successful business of people who become professional huggers. I know it sounds silly, but yes, there are places that you could go to. There is nothing sexual about it. There are people who learn how to cuddle. And people who do that says that it really helps in order to release the anxieties and stress in our lives. And now we're told not to do that. And we should. We should not do that. Despite all the benefits of being together with others, of touching, the risk that we are taking is much greater. So yeah, some people really, all of us want to be with others, and some people apparently cannot stop themselves from doing it. So this is the nice explanation, but I need more than that, because I have to tell you, I'm quite angry. So why did these students do it? I heard one of them saying, and I quote her, my immune system is great. And I was looking at her, and I was saying to myself, I wish there was a correlation between the strength of your immune system and the strength of your brain. Because yes, you're a 20 years old, young, healthy person, so even if you get the coronavirus, very likely you're not going to die from it. But then you're going back home, and your 57-year-old mother may get sick in a much more serious way. And then your mother will go to visit her mother, who is 90-year-old. So being so arrogant. Why do religious people do it? Jewish people, Christian people, why do they do it? So first of all, the majority, thank God, do not do it. And they obey the laws and the rules the way all of us do. But why some people think that they need to violate these rules? A lot comes from leaders. You see, there are some religious leaders that no matter what they say to their people, the people just obey. So one of these rabbis in Bnei Brak is 92 years old. Whatever he says, people do. So when the coronavirus started and Israel decided to suspend schools, he came with a declaration that it's much more dangerous for young boys not to study Torah than to get the virus, and forbade his community to close the schools. A few weeks later, he was forced to do it because still there is some law enforcement in Israel. But when he said everyone has to go to school, all the children went to school. And it was the same with these ministers in Louisiana and Tampa. I tried to read. I read what the minister said and some of the people who attended the services. And basically they said, that's what God wanted us to do. In their mind, worshiping with others, ignoring the rules, shows a greater dedication, a greater love for God. Let me tell you, I don't know which God they follow. This is not the God that I'm familiar with. My God's first rule is don't be stupid. And if you think, God says, that you can be stupid, that you can put yourself in a dangerous situation, and then you'll pray that I will help you, that I will save you, that's not the way it works. God helps those who help themselves. If you put yourself in an unnecessary risk, don't expect God to change nature in order to heal you. It's not going to happen. This is not the way we look at God. This is not our faith. Don't be stupid. Don't be irresponsible. Don't be arrogant. But then God says something else, slightly different, but I'll say it bluntly. God says, don't be stupid and let other people pay the price for your stupidity. You see, when you do something dangerous, for example, unfortunately, Florida still allows motorcyclists to ride their bikes without helmets. So if you ride your bike without a helmet and you get into a car accident, well, you hurt yourself. I know that you also hurt the circle of your friends and family, but at least directly you hurt yourself. But when you go to a gathering with 1,000 people, or you go to a funeral in Bnei Brak, which is near Tel Aviv, where 400 people are there, and then you go back to your small apartment when you have 12 kids and a wife. Very likely one of them is going to get ill. And then you're going to sit on a bus to Jerusalem next to somebody else. So this is not just something that you're doing to yourself. You're taking a risk that is going to affect so many other people. This is not just stupid. This is, God says, unforgivable. God can forgive us for things that we do against God, but not when we hurt other people. We say it on Yom Kippur. Even Yom Kippur cannot atone for this kind of sins, of these kinds of actions. I want to end with a wonderful story that I taught in the past, but I have to tell you the truth, I never fully understood it until a few weeks ago. And the story is told about Rabbi Israel Salanter. Rabbi Salanter was one of the greatest rabbis of the 19th century. He lived in Vilna, so he was a Litvak. He was a Lithuanian rabbi, which means that he observed all the commandments in the strictest way possible. However, in 1848, during the plague of the cholera, Rabbi Salanter went to a synagogue on Yom Kippur with wine and a cake. After a very short service, he did a kiddush, ate the cake, and told his people, go home, eat, and drink. Why did he do it? Because the doctors at that time said that during the epidemic, people should eat well, people should drink, people should not spend a lot of time in close places with others. So Rabbi Salanter said a very short service and then go out and walk outside, enjoy the fresh air. And the first person to do it was himself. He ate and drank on Yom Kippur. Of course, many people were angry with him. Many rabbis stopped talking to him. But he did the right thing. He followed the Talmudic idea that et la'asot la'Adonai heferu toratecha. It's a beautiful idea. It means that sometimes the way to follow God is actually by breaking the halacha, is by going against the Jewish law. So yeah, we're supposed to have a minyan, but times like that, in order really to observe everything, to follow God, means not to have a minyan. Because when we do that, several weeks from now, maybe 2 months from now, we'll be able to go back to our normal life. And the Talmud continues that sometimes it's better to violate one Shabbat in order to celebrate many other Shabbatot in the future. This is the time to celebrate Shabbat, to celebrate Passover in a few days. I'll talk about it later. In a different way, in a compromised way, but that will allow us to keep celebrating Shabbat and holidays in the future the way we want to do it. So, let's follow God's commandment. Don't do stupid things. Don't be arrogant. Follow the rules that would make you as safe and healthy as possible. Shabbat Shalom. And now I invite you to rise for the Amidah.
Na 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 tehillatcha. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah. El Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Ve'konei Hakol, Ve'zocher Chasdei Avot ve'imahot, U'mevi Geula livnei v'nehem, Lema'an Shemo be'ahava. Nalech Ozer u'Moshia u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh hakol atah Rav leHoshia, Mashiv haruach u'morid hagashem, Mechalkel chayim bechesed, Mechayeh hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim verofei cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato, Lishenei afar, Michamocha bal gevurot, Umido melach, Melech memit u'mechayeh, u'matzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman atah lahachayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, mechayeh hakol. Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri v'goali, Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri v'goali. Go inside your heart, just be. Go inside your heart and see what it wants, what it needs, what it yearns when you breathe. Go inside your heart and see. May the
We continue now with the Mishaberach, the healing prayer. In the past few weeks, I think I recited this prayer many, many times a day. If you would like to mention the name of a loved one, just please type their names as I'm going to read the list that Temple Betham has. Philip Ackerman, Richard Addis, Michael Agren, Chad Barney, Jane Berggren, Dr. Lawrence Brandt, Diane Brenner, Paul Bundwinkel, Craig Karadaisgwas, Jet Christensen, Ron DeManam, Maxine Essinger, Stu Furman, Stephen Gordon, Esther Scheindel, Bat Heike, David Holderman, Chris Holmquist, Bruce Horowitz, Stephen Jenkins, Natalie Lango, Charlie Levy, Stephanie Maines, Amanda Mosto, Sherry Nemirovsky, Kent Paul, Santos Ruiz, Steve Saland, Gilbert Siegel, Artie Seltzer, Alex Tebenkin, Rod Tarshish, Danny Unger, Leona Asher, Morgan Witten, Yehuda Ben Yosef. We're not at the Kiddush yet, but if you're near your kitchen and you want to pour a glass of wine, so we'll be able to do the Kiddush together, you may take the time to do it, but first we are doing the Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'Adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
And we continue now with the Kaddish. As we remember today on the occasion of Yortzeit, Joy Siegel, sister of Elaine and aunt of Audrey. Dora Lazarescu, mother of Zona. Annie Cohen, mother of Al. Irving Feathergreen, father of Ross and grandfather of Dan. Mary Finkel, mother of Nathan. Lillian Frankel, mother of Ed. Ethel Chernin Katzin, mother of Davilinda. Paul Friedman, father of Joe. B. Louis Bloomberg, father of Shirley. Maury Brickman, uncle of Linda. Esther Ruth Dorton Duckman, grandmother of David. Jean Nobler, mother of Brenda. Esther Mograby, mother of Leona. Joyce Horvitz, mother of Ilan. Ephraim Jacob, brother of Albert. Sylvia Dechter, mother of Natalie and Mike and grandmother of Josh. Lucille Baruch Meyer, grandmother of Kenneth. Bernard Hall, father of Sylvia. Lillian Hart, grandmother of Jesse. Alvin London, uncle of Robin. Ray Slipakov, mother of Bob. Bernard Rivin, father of Anne. Max Davitsky, father of Norm. Harry Goldstein, grandfather of Jana. Mary Thornton, daughter of Sue and Jim. Joanne Weiss, niece of Harriet and cousin of Craig. Eloise Sternberg, sister of Mort. Sylvia Weissman, mother of John. Recently passed, we remember today, Iris Milchman, mother of Estelle. Frances Denmark, mother of Steve. Marvin Price, cousin of Nancy. Judy and Barry Goldstein, parents of Phyllis, Mindy, and Mark. Gay Beth Skobach, sister of Neil and aunt of Carrie. And we're saying the words of the Kaddish. Itgadal ve'itkadash shmei rabba.
Amen.
בעלמא דברה חירותי והמליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב עמו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעולמי עולמיים. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה על שמי דקודשה בריחו. לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה דאמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. And before we continue with the Kiddush, I have two announcements. There are many things that we are doing, and please follow the website and the emails that we send. But the special things are Tuesday night at 7 p.m. we're going to have an interfaith service. Last week we met with Jupiter First Church and St. Peter Catholic Church, and we designed a service that will be appropriate, especially for the week of Passover and Easter, when all of us are quite disappointed about the way we're celebrating, about the people who will not be with us in the same house, the same room. So please join us for this service. And Wednesday night is the night of Passover. Most of us are going to be either by ourselves or with very few family members in our houses. So we decided to invite all of you to our house. We'll broadcast the service, our family service. The five of us, Gali, myself, and our three children will be there. And we'll conduct the service. It's not going to be a long service because it's not the same. So we'll read the important parts of the Agada. we'll say the blessings, we'll sing the appropriate songs. We'll try to incorporate Marcy and Rabbi Brett if technology would allow us. Like everyone else, we're still learning how to do it the best way. So we'll do it Wednesday at 6 o'clock, about 45 minutes, the pre-food part, and then you will have to eat by yourself. In the next few days, we'll send you a few recipes. I know that Gali already taped a recipe for her Sephardic charoset, and the most important thing is the horseradish vodka, which is a very important part of our tradition. So please join us for these two services. Again, you'll get emails and different links and websites. And now for the Kiddush. So if you are holding a glass of wine or any other liquid that makes you happy.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu. Zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techila lemikra'e kodesh, zecher litziat Mitzrayim. Ki banu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. Amen.
L'chaim. This morning, Gali and Yoni baked some chalot. This is the last Shabbat before Passover that we can actually have a challah. Next week, we'll have a boring, flat matzah here. Unfortunately, I cannot share it.
That's
Well,
Hamotzi lechem min haaretz, we give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
it's really
It
antisocial.
smells good.
No, I touched it before. That's why I did not let you.
I'm sure I have one in the
It-
freezer somewhere.
But it is really good. I'll think about it for the whole week of Passover. Let's conclude with Oseh Shalom.
Oseh shalom imromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, meimu. Amen. Oseh shalom imromav,
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you for joining us. Hope to see you soon on Zoom, but we'll celebrate Tuesday night and definitely Wednesday night.